What is up, you guys? Hope you're having an awesome day. I'm your host, Omen Hassan. Who's here today?
It's Traderina, the best, most amazing top 10 host is here.
I feel like I'll just let you have that one because you haven't done a collab in so long and I've just missed him.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Yeah.
What do you think of people pregnant with demons?
Well, I've made
your
a choice.
Mom.
Yeah. Whoa. Okay.
Your mom pregnant with you.
Ruthless. I'm a saint. Everyone here at Most Amazing Top 10 knows that I'm the most respectful,
no, everyone knows
sinful.
Che is so sus.
I'm not sus
Top
at all.
10 suspicious employees, Che's number one.
No, I'm not sus. I'm very normal and great. So this is going to be the video of top 10 people who got pregnant with a demon part 2. Yeah.
Do stick around till the end of the video, guys, for some bloopers. You know it's Chairman, you know there's going to be many bloopers.
So many bloopers. It's going to be very good. So I guess we should kick it off then.
Yeah, I'll leave.
Okay, bye. God, now we're really going to do it. Alright guys, we're kicking off the list at number 10 and 4. Number 10, we got Rosemarys Baby. Oh yeah. I'm going to start off this list with a classic demon being in a lady's womb. And of course, I am talking about Rosemary's Baby. This was a classic movie that a lot of people loved back in the day. It came out in 1986 when religious influence in America was even stronger than it is today. A woman carrying the devil inside her made people get so frightened they would throw up in theaters, and religious groups got protesting during the release. The movie is about a young couple who moved to a New York apartment, but the apartment is cursed by the occult. They are warned that they shouldn't move into this place, but it's New York and the price was amazing. Sometimes you gotta put up with a little bit of curse so you can get a good view of the skyline. Well, not long after moving in, it looks like Rosemary is pregnant, but as the movie progresses, the audience learns that the baby she's carrying is not fathered by the man she loves, but by the devil himself. Members of a cult who know that the baby is the son of Satan start to work their way into their lives and try to take control of the child. Things get proceedingly creepy, and what gives this movie good tension is the viewer has no idea what's actually going on in Rosemary's body. The unknown is what really amps up the freaky factor.
Coming in at number 9 is the Devil Baby of Bourbon Street. The voodoo queen of New Orleans, Marie Laveau, has been featured in too many of my videos now, so I'm not even going to bother giving you a backstory. This hoe is literally everywhere. Now, Laveau was known as a sorcerer and a healer in town, and so people came to her for favors. A suitor pursuing the daughter of a well-known Creole family called Camille came to Marie after Camille ditched him for a Scotsman. Livid, he begged her to curse Camille and her unborn child, and when she did fall pregnant, she started having terrible recurring nightmares about her child being possessed. Camille unfortunately died during childbirth, but the baby that came out was no child at all. Screams filled the room as this thing came out of her. 2 lumps, soon to be horns where there should have been hair, claws instead of hands and feet, and it also had scales all over its body. Also, just a preface, don't know if it's Camille or Camille.
Alright, at number 8 we got The Omen. Yeah, alright, this is one more classic before we go into some more obscure movies. For the number 8 spot, we of course have The Omen. Omen came out in 1976, and it literally linked the name Damien to being a horrible little monster of a child. If you ever see a kid being a brat and you call him Damien, every horror movie fan will know exactly what joke you are making. This movie has so many angles that many horror movies use today. There's the Antichrist born into some rich and powerful family. They want him to grow up a secret. So they kill the child of 2 parents who are in the hospital who had just had a baby. The baby's just born, and then they kill it, and then they replace it, and they never know that their kid was killed and replaced with the son of Satan. Ooh, a little switcheroo. If you found out, you could sue the hospital and make millions, but they don't, and this little bundle of hate comes home with them, and then they start to raise it as its own. As little Damien gets older, he starts to become more and more violent, finding interesting ways to dispatch of people, revealing his dark nature. The movie was a box office hit, and 3 other movies were made in the franchise, none of them being as big as the original, but definitely an important part of horror movie history.
Filling at number 7 slot is Billy the Puppet. Now, we've all seen at least one movie from the Saw franchise, and if you haven't, I feel like you'd still be able to recognize Billy the Puppet, aka the white target-cheeked puppet Jigsaw uses to communicate with his victims and let them know about their impending deaths. No biggie, you know, just slide that in there. Anyway, for some reason, this ultrasound of this child looks eerily like Billy. You can literally see one of its eyes open and its black gaping mouth. The kid almost looks like it was petrified in that position by the basilisk from Harry Potter. And why does it have 6 limbs? I swear humans only have 4. That's how you know it's sus. Like, you know it's gonna come out of the womb being like I want to play a game. And I'd be like, get your back in that womb, Biddy. Okay, no.
And for the number 6 spot, we have Stillborn. Not being the best movie made about demon babies, but it combines a lot of movie elements that I like. Like you have the supernatural, psychological, and just the creeping feeling that your baby is going to be eaten by a demon. The movie follows a woman who just had a baby, but there were some major complications. She was supposed to have twins, but one of them died during childbirth. Now she is trying to take care of her surviving child, and she's worried that some demon is trying to come and take him away from her. This is where all of the other elements come into play. Is the demon she afraid of something real, or is it something from her imagination? She just lost a child and she could be suffering from postpartum depression. Can she trust her own thoughts? Or is there a demon chasing her, and is it the child that didn't make it? Did it get turned into a demon and now it's coming after her good baby? If you're a big fan of the demon baby genre, then you should probably check this one out. If not, then maybe it's worth a skip. I kinda liked it.
Coming in at number 5 is the Skull Baby. Now this is by far one of the scariest ultrasounds I've ever come across. Already the baby looks like a massive skull with its mouth open and its jaw almost broken in half. It's like jagged like that. It seems to have only one eye socket and this tiny pointy membrane coming out of its skull, which I'm guessing is a horn. Like seriously, what is that? If I saw this as the expectant parent of this baby, I'd be like, I don't know about that. That looks pretty damn friggin' sus to me. Do you cheat on me with the Antichrist? Like, probably did. Probably did.
Ooh, alright, for the number 4 spot. Oh my god, this movie goes. You have a baby with a dude, but prior to that you have a crazy night of partying and you can't remember what happens. Well, it turns out the cult put a devil in your belly. That is the plot of Devil's Due. A couple has a wild night in the Dominican, wake up with a killer hangover, and just chalk up the whole night as a lesson to never drink again. Down the road they settle down into a place with a beautiful little baby. Then some people start harassing them. You learn that these people are part of a cult and claim the baby is demonic and that they want it. The family doesn't believe it until the little rascal starts doing crazy demonic stuff. He goes full superpowered demon baby. I gotta say, there is nothing in the baby books that tell you how to deal with this kind of stuff. The whole thing is super scary and just reminds me that I never want to have kids. It might end up as a demon and ruin your life. And by might, I mean there's a 90% chance that the baby will stress you out so much to the point that you take years off your life. It will leave you in financial ruin, and then of course the world is dying anyway, so you're just gonna leave him in a post-apocalyptic future. So why are we having kids? We just need to stop and just party all the time, duh.
Filling at number 3 slot is the 1991 ultrasound. Now all I know about this one is the fact the ultrasound was taken in 1991, so this baby is probably like 29 now. Quick maths. Now there's so many things going on in this ultrasound, I literally don't even know what to look at or focus on, I swear down. To me, I can see this huge half face in the middle, almost like the baby's side profile. There's its massive eye, the nasal cavity that isn't there, it's like a skull almost, and the jaw area looks like it's pointy and jagged. I legit looked at this picture from every angle and head tilt I possibly could, and I just don't see how it's a baby at all. I just can't see it. Someone make it make sense to me.
Alright, for the number 2 spot we have The Brood. Canadian horror director David Cronenberg really sent it home with the twisted story of having monsters in your belly. Cronenberg movies are famous for having grotesque imagery and twisted sci-fi storylines, and this one is no exception. In The Brood we have a husband and wife going through some marital troubles. The wife is suffering from different psychological disorders and goes to see a specialist. The husband is taking care of their daughter. While this is happening, some murders start happening in a town with very little clues as to who might be committing them. Throughout the movie, we start to uncover more and more about what might be happening until we end up at one of the most messed up endings you'll see in a movie. The wife has been giving birth to these little monster babies, sort of like an insect queen, and she can control them through psychic connection. And she has been using these little creepy monster gremlin kids to go out and kill whoever she wants. The props that Cronenberg uses in this movie make the whole thing extra gross and amazing. There's a scene where the wife is holding up her newly born monster fetus and she's licking it clean, and it's so disgusting disgusting. It will be in your nightmares for weeks.
And finally, at number 1 is the 4th story. Now this one is kind of graphic, so just be wary of that if that's something you can't handle. So back in August of 2015, 21-year-old Rashida Chowdhury was hell-bent and convinced that her 3-week-old son Rizwan was born with an evil spirit inside him. The baby had been discharged from the hospital the day prior after having a viral infection. The day after he came out, Rashida threw him out of the bathroom window of their 4th floor apartment. Apparently she said she was stopping his pain after his infection, which I don't really see the logic with. The baby was pronounced dead shortly after being found. He had lacerations to his liver, brain and spleen and had fractured his skull after the 42-foot drop. Rashida, having been diagnosed with no previous mental illnesses other than postpartum depression, was charged with 2nd-degree murder, and I feel like well deserved. How can you even fathom dropping your kid out? I don't even know what to say to you. And that is it for today's video, guys. That was awful.
It was great. Mine were great.
Yours were great. Mine were tragic. I feel like the last one was tragic. I'm like recovering still.
Yeah, that's why I picked movies, because they're like creepy, but they're all imaginative, and then we can just go on and have a good life afterwards.
Okay.
Not throwing babies out of windows. My God, that was so sad. I'm depressed.
I'm sorry.
I'm sad now.
I'm sorry.
Ruined my day.
Well, let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. As always, I have been Eamon Hassan.
I've been Shade Arena.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye. Put in a thing for bloopers, please.
You just touched my armpit. How did that feel?
Your armpit?
Yeah. Stop!
I don't give a
I was born ready, to be honest, for this.
But for this list.
Okay, we don't need to give them an intro.
It's been a long weekend, because that's cool to me, and that's what I find cool.
Are you nervous to host with me?
No,
I get
I'm
it.
just, it's been
look at
yeah.
me.
Oh yeah, you're great. It's great, it's a great time. Anyways, what's this list called again?
This is, coming in at number 9. Stop! Gee. Okay, that was my inner demon coming out, sorry about that.
Oh, it's on Bourbon Street! It's the devil's come to get me on Bourbon Street all day!
Hee. Church of Che? I don't know who's following Church of Che. Stop! You're so hyperactive!
I'm so tired.
Let me finish my number 1